That'll do.
It's like the old days. Remember when we used to edit?
Back when I used to spend a bunch of time
we
editing,
put like
nobody
a
would
really
watch.
good cut at the beginning, like a highlight from the middle of the show. I'd pull it
That
out.
was I love doing that. That was great. And
Different era.
that was in the past. And now that's good. I'm good.
Oh, welcome to Handsome Hour. It is a week 4. It's technically week 4. Is it week 4 already?
You corrected me last week, and first of all, you corrected me because I said week 2. That was on me. It was week 3. My
It was
bad.
2 and 1, and you said week 2.
That's on me. That's on me entirely. The math. But I don't. When does the week begin and end? Shut up. It's don't. I do it. I do. I know. It's you were about to say Sunday.
Sunday.
I knew it.
I got into. I saw an online debate about this. It might have been
Yeah,
Reddit or something.
yeah.
British people were like, "Why do you guys say it starts on Sunday? The week starts Monday." And I wanted to argue, and I was like, "No, that makes sense. Sorry, that does make sense.
Monday, yeah, it does make sense.
Week begins Monday. Weekend would be through Sunday, wouldn't it? And yet, that's not what we do. I don't know. Or do you mean in a football sense, Anish?
In a football sense is what I was really talking about. But
Well,
yeah,
then the
sure.
week begins today.
A week begins Monday.
The NFL would
Sundays-
say, using so are we watching? No, we're watching last week's game.
Oh, good call. Good. This
We're not.
your good point. NFL week does not begin till tomorrow.
Right. So we're not even to the beginning of the week yet.
This is not an NFL podcast. To us, the NFL doesn't. What is the
We said
NFL? I don't even know.
Football, though. This is the last football event of the week.
That's
What
true.
is?
That's
Yeah, true, but
got
it's college. It's college. You
Well,
did
Sunday's
that.
definitely
You
still
did
college
that.
football previous week because that's the day you fire your coach, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We're
That's
already there. This is number 2. I feel like we need to keep track. Barry Odom has now appeared on UCLA's hot list because I suppose he spent like 2 years out west. So like you gotta put him
People
on
are
that
lazy.
list.
'Cause
Yeah,
analysts are lazy.
yeah.
It's so dumb.
He'd be a great candidate for Tech too.
Yeah. Tech's a lot like Purdue, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about that. I think he's a great fit at Purdue. I think he should go to Purdue.
But why would
Let's
he-
have him at Purdue.
But why would he want to go anywhere? Why would he
I
want to
think
leave?
he does. I don't think
But
he
we
does.
got to keep count. But we got to keep count.
Right. Exactly. It's fun. Was he contacted? Was the agent contacted? No, not at all.
Who knows? Whomst
to
knows?
say, exactly.
Whomst could have known.
Right.
It's amazing. They all have their like coaching possibilities. All like it's all in the can. It's all ready to go. Right. At all
Oh
times.
yeah. The article. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always the same handful of guys. It's like who started 2-0. All right. Let's mention them.
Right. Stupid. So are you guys at all? That's a quick hook at UCLA. That's a season and a sixth.
I
The normal-
find that, yeah.
Normal
I find that a little-
1.18 seasons.
Well, it makes you wonder
UCLA?
if they had a little buyer's remorse right away.
Yeah.
Because I even looked, he went 5-7 last year, which UCLA wasn't very good, and they were 5-7. Which
They
means
were
you
worse
one
than
game-
that record somehow.
That's what I mean. You were one win from a bowl, so like he doesn't deserve a second season. I don't know, unless there's something else going on, and you felt like, man, this team is coming apart already. Like,
Could be they're still embarrassed by his intro at the Big Ten Media Day that I had to repost because it's the most awkward Big Ten Media Day thing ever. Like,
well, my favorite part of it though isn't even just what he said, but it's as though like they
he was
grabbed somebody
waiting
off-
for an eruption of laughter. What was he
Well,
waiting for?
it was like he didn't know he had to speak that day. It was like he was grabbed off the street and told, "Talk about UCLA right now," and he'd never
Right.
been to UCLA. That's what it
Right.
sounded like.
Yeah.
It was like you didn't study for your oral presentation. We're Los Angeles. We're located in Los Angeles, and it's like, how long do I have to go?
Well, the funny thing about that, everybody here has spoken publicly to a group, and one of the things that always makes you feel good is when you have a really interactive audience, right? And he had no interaction at all, and like that he must have felt horrible. That's the
brutal.
thing,
Yeah,
because there's no noise at all. Like it's like you can hear like people shifting in their chairs.
you just hear like like a little cough in there.
Yeah, it's great.
This isn't her.
Hey,
Pulls on the collar.
Is it hot in here? It's just me.
No, but it is UCLA is a mess, right? They've been a mess in terms of their coaching hires and decisions. I mean, they
I
have
think Frail Hammers has the candidate, by the way. I don't know if you see that.
Oh, for Hamer's first call has to be to Walters. I think. Yeah,
I think that's the
absolutely.
right guy. He just wasn't given enough tools to succeed at Purdue.
He looks like an LA guy, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
I
Handsome,
called
strapping.
I called my shot a couple weeks ago, which was Peach. I said Peach on the
Yeah, I
Peach
like
to LA. He's got to
Okay.
get a new.
Since we're going right into this was on my list of things to talk about.
Okay, do you want to talk about like actual Purdue
No,
football
not yet.
first? Cool.
Since
Oh, we will. We will.
No.
All right.
You guys derailed it off in this direction.
Yep.
We'll cover this. We'll cover off on this first.
Correct.
Why do people say that at work? I have people say that all the time. We're going to cover off on that.
Cover.
That's a
off.
new
I've
one.
never
I don't know
heard
that one.
Oh
I don't
no,
think I've
people
been
say it
enough.
in my field all the time. Cover off on that.
What the hell does that mean?
I know.
It means it's like it's a coverage. It's like a cover two,
cover
but it's
one.
like soft cover. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
a soft cover two.
George Carlin had a whole bit about meaningless words that I always loved, and that feels like one of those.
Oh,
We're going to cover that.
This is seriously, that is new for me, and maybe I haven't been.
Oh, I
spending
hear
enough
it
time
all the
on
time.
Corporations.
Let's cover off on that first. All right.
Ugh,
Anyway, yeah, exactly.
yuck.
Yucky.
Yucky. Is UCLA a better job than Minnesota?
No,
See, the fact that you even have to think about it means it might not be.
It may be, but I
Okay.
don't think
only
it
thing
is.
that makes it better is their uniforms and the weather.
Yeah.
Even
The
that
budgets
arguable.
are bad there. The
Minnesota
mojo's
plays at a
bad
good
there.
stadium.
Is Minnesota's budget great? Like, I'm
I
not sure.
bet you it's better than I
I
Better
bet-
because- remember, because they're not in the red, and UCLA was.
But do you
Right.
think that there is a higher? I think there may be a higher ceiling on UCLA, but I think Minnesota is a better job. Now the question is, how long do you stay at one job? Right? Like, how long before you get stale?
I don't
Beyond
think PJ is
8,
gonna
10
get
years.
stale at Minnesota. I'll give Minnesota fans the credit that I don't think
They
gonna
love
be
him.
Like, I don't think they're going to be like, why aren't we winning 12 games a year? I don't think they're ever going to be like that. I think
I kind of respect that about them. It's one thing
Yeah.
I respect about Minnesota fans.
well because they haven't had a truly bad season in
It's great.
10 years more.
I'd love to be sitting in their spot. Not
Yeah.
with PJ, just the situation. Let me
Yeah.
be clear. I don't want PJ Fleck at all.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand he's not on your list.
He's
So-
not.
Yeah, so I don't know if UCLA is a better job. I think is Tech a better job? Probably not because they're not in the Big Ten or
No,
the SEC.
I
right?
don't.
That's
no.
the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a
But
bad
I-
job though.
Yeah,
It's not a bad job. It's
No.
similar culturally to Purdue, like we were talking about. So it's I mean, the fans are solid. They've got they got great fan culture there. I mean, that's the thing. Game day is great. So you guys
Do you if you're Tech, and this will be our last thing on the non-Purdue teams, but do you call? What happened?
He
to
gone. This is what we do. You
Hang
two
on, he's
just
back.
kind
He's
of.
back. What happened there?
It's like one of those things where it's like, when you join
Were you
a
bored?
meeting, that's exactly when it decides to reboot everything. It reinstalled my microphone just now. Why?
That's what you needed.
It's
you
time.
needed.
It just pulls a little pin.
Hey, you don't always get what you want from the computer, but you always get what you need.
I got what I needed. That's
Well,
right.
I was going to say, do they call?
Inner Sandman is
Beamer?
extremely fun.
Do they call Beamer at South Carolina, or do they?
You
not?
got to make the call, but he ain't picking up.
You're not-
He
Dude,
changed his number.
if I were he, I'd go there because SC's probably getting antsy now because they lost this weekend, right?
They got
You know,
whipped
I
by
mean,
Vanderbilt at
yeah.
home.
That's right.
That's
the
not
thing.
a
Get out in
that's-
front of it.
that's not a bad idea. Which is the PJ. That's the PJ argument exactly. But there's a
Except
there's
South
a
Carolina probably feels more entitled than Minnesota does.
and there's a more
Shouldn't, but
exactly. But there's a more what's it called, like natural fit, right? I mean,
And
like,
he'll lose out. He'll lose out on his buyout. Wait,
oh, that sweet
Yes,
sweet
he-
Jimmy Sexton buyout.
he would. I bet.
if he walks, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to think.
Oh, absolutely.
How is he gonna? How is he gonna retire right now? You gotta think. About it.
I mean, the step down in conference though is an interesting question because it is like, is there an easier path to the playoff in the next 6 years at Virginia Tech than there is at South Carolina?
Yes.
Maybe? Yeah, like
yes.
it's
I think there is.
it's the Braum argument, right? Which is like, he goes to Louisville. It's a easier conference. There's no kind of king there. Like, Florida State, Clemson, Miami should be the big dogs. It looks like Miami is this year, but like, there's nobody that's a Ohio State or Michigan or
Clemson
Penn
was for
State.
a long time. They're clearly not anymore. But
hey, it's future, right? Like it's what is it for the next 6 years, right? That's what you're projecting when you change jobs. It may make sense.
plus, they didn't
Dad,
call
you may
Beamer
have
back when
swung me
they.
on
Plus,
this.
they didn't call Shane Beamer back when they hired Pry, right? I don't think.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a back channel like
I thought there was a
thing.
story that he was interested in coaching there, and when he had no
Speak.
experience, and they were like, "Nah."
Oh, meaning like before SC. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Because right, Pry has only been there like 2 years, right? Two,
No,
3
he's been
years.
there like I think since I think this was his 4th or 5th, but I
Wow.
think
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I would have guessed 3.
I checked it out, but I go ahead.
But speaking of that, the other side of that game, like this is the thing that this is the story, the ambition for schools like Purdue. Virginia Tech is, or not Virginia Tech, Vandy is ranked. And
It
so
should
it's
be.
like
It should be.
And
is there
talking.
any? Yeah,
And they've been talking. They've been chirping.
they also should be doing that. I'm okay with it. It's you don't get to talk when you're Vandy ever. You
Ever.
take your chances. Take your chances. Like
Well,
to
I
me,
guess
it's like
that's true.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the fun.
enjoy it because it's not going to last another week. Exactly. Like so, enjoy it while it's here. It's awesome.
So before we get into Purdue stuff, let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Here, you can include Purdue into this group, but I think I know your answer. I'm positive I know your answer on this. But is there any team in college football that surprises you right now the way they've started?
Clemson, but not in the right way. Like I thought Clemson.
That's why I think about Notre Dame.
I mean,
tough start though. Tough. I mean,
I know it's tough games, but I'm still surprised. 0-2. I thought they'd be 1-1.
And what happens if
yeah.
the coin flips the other way? Last week, right?
Right.
I mean, but 2 weeks, I suppose. Like they are close to 2-0, right? Which
is great because the media. I was just reading an article right before I came on here that said these 2 games have exposed that Marcus Freeman's defense is in big trouble.
Oh, good, because that's who are they playing next week? Can you remind me?
I'll have to check the schedule.
Okay,
yeah, I'm not sure.
But how could their defense be in trouble? They have a coach who was, I believe, undefeated against Purdue as a head football coach at Rutgers, Chris Ash.
Oh, Chris Ash!
What a great hire! What a great hire! I told you guys in our group chat, and I don't know how many people listening know this, but when I was down at Clemson, I learned on the way down there, I remember listening to the radio and I learned Tom Allen is the DC. Talk about falling upwards. I mean, Tom Allen's
that's a better DC than
yeah. He's a good coach. I shouldn't or a good coordinator. Like
he's a solid coordinator.
He was good at Penn State. I mean, didn't they go to the very end? They go to the Final Four not the title game, right?
Final Four,
semifinal.
They were to the semis. Yeah,
they had a good year. And he had to have contributed to that because it's further than they usually go. But now he's at Clemson. That's not going so well. So,
no, that's not. Well, I mean, just the entire Clemson. Yeah, the entire Clemson thing is not. I mean, the wildest stat is that they took exactly 1 transfer. Or no, maybe 2 transfers, and one of them was from Purdue. Yeah,
because Dabo doesn't believe in it.
He doesn't do that. Yeah,
he will have to.
I know. He said that. Gosh, I've heard him say it over and over, right, for the last 2 years.
I think it was 2 this year, and
I think he's trying to still grow. I mean, if you want to you could draw a comparison to the way Painter runs his program, where you still try to grow.
It's much harder in football, isn't it?
Oh, much.
The roster's too big.
I'm saying he's trying to stick to that mentality where no, we grow our program the way we grow it, and we'll take a couple guys in, but we're not going to change how we do things and just go free agency every year.
Right.
And I respect the thinking. And if it keeps working, great. But
so they haven't had a problem with attrition clearly on the other side.
But part of this also is that Paint always takes people when he needs them. Like it's not a philosophy. It's just like he's a little bit more. It seems like Dabo's a little bit more hard headed, right? And we're going to next year. Purdue is going to see. Purdue is in the type of schools that are going to see turnover like every single year. Yeah, correct. So are we at the Nebraska section of the podcast?
We haven't yet talked about Nebraska, but I did actually want to throw one other. We all keep doing the one other thing that's not Purdue. You guys brought up Vanderbilt, and you know how you were saying you should talk now because you can. They won at Virginia Tech and they won at South Carolina. So okay, they're 3-0. They were beating a ranked South Carolina. South Carolina went from 11th to out of the poll.
Yep.
And Notre Dame is
Isn't that
0-2.
interesting, right?
You're 24. But let me tell you what Vanderbilt has next.
Wait.
What?
Notre Dame is 24th.
Yeah.
A winless Notre Dame is 24th.
Yep.
What did I not? I missed.
So
that.
Vanderbilt has Georgia State at home next. Then
nice.
they have Utah State at home. After that, they will be 5-0. And what do you think they'll be? They're 20th now. They'll be 15th,
Probably
16th.
Yeah.
And then get this.
Gotta keep the SEC numbers high, even if it's a farce.
And then what?
But here's how it goes after that. At Alabama versus LSU versus Missouri, at Texas versus Auburn versus Kentucky, at Tennessee. Good night.
You have 3 more wins.
They may not go to a bowl game.
They could have 3 more wins. I think they'll have 3 more wins there.
Yeah.
I'll take that bet.
2.5.
1.5 is the over under for me.
1.5 the over under. Oh, I'll hammer the over there.
You'll take the over. Who are they
I'll
going to
take the
beat?
over on that. I'll take
Who are
the
they
over.
going to beat?
I don't know, but they
Bama.
won at Bama,
They're
not gonna beat
or they
Bama.
won home
They
against
won home.
know.
They haven't been at Bama in like 50 years or something. Maybe longer.
If that happens, Kalen DeBoer becomes a free agent. So
If
that's
Vandy
funny.
Real quickly.
Bama,
That's it. I mean, that week.
yeah, possibly. Well, no, he has a huge buy. He's got not quite a.
It's 90 million, I think. 90.
Oh, is it that high?
I think he's also a Sexton, but he's also a Jimmy Sexton
he's not
client.
going anywhere because of that.
I don't know. Maybe something tells me that Alabama would find a way.
I love when
think
they're
they
on
would too.
game day and Saban talks about I was at practice this week and things are going. That must be so convenient having Nick Saban over your shoulder at practice. That must really help everything too. Yeah,
They gave him an office, right? Like Saban still has
overseeing
the office,
field. Yeah,
literally
Just
overseeing the field
exactly.
named after
Just
him.
like
Yeah.
Jesus up above.
Would he be the interim coach if
Of
Nope,
course,
Ed
he would.
Orgeron.
No.
Orgeron just goes around now?
Orgeron at Alabama would be hellaciously fun.
Awesome.
I can't believe that he's not USC or UCLA's.
Not
He
yet.
already was
It's only
USC.
Monday. It's only Monday.
It's a really good. That's a
I'm
really
telling
good
you,
prediction.
this was our idea years ago. Just permanent professional interim coach.
It's a retainer. The Power 2 keeps him on a retainer.
right.
And you would limit attrition because the kids would want to stay. Ed's coming. Ed O's coming. It's
yeah.
gonna be so
Fun.
fun.
Yeah,
We're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, we're
Ed in the Big Ten, man. We haven't had Ed yet. We need Ed in the Big Ten.
Ed O at UCLA just for the rest of the season would be amazing.
It'd be amazing. I'd watch every game. Every
Every
game.
press conference. Every press conference.
I'd buy a baby blue. Like I'd do the whole thing.
Has anybody botched their uniforms more than UCLA by getting rid of baby blue? It makes me very
They still
angry.
have them.
They have them.
It's like an electric blue now.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's not the baby blue, and I got to tell you, it's a big difference.
It's still pretty close to the best uniform in college sports.
It's
like,
not.
even
It's
with
not.
this
Doesn't
one.
have the sizzle for me. Again,
I love it. It's so cool.
It's
man.
just the. I mean, it's really the correct UCLA blue, but they got to know that.
Yeah, the babies are nice. The babies are beautiful. I mean,
Speaking of apparel, Chris Harder asks if your jacket
Yeah,
is.
I brought it down for him a little bit because he seemed like he wanted to see a
Is
little.
there anything under it? Oh, there is. Wow. Speaking of apparel, before we go 90 minutes,
I like my Pete to just poke out a little bit.
look at him just looking out.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. If you're looking for apparel or a dad hat with the old onrushing train on it, that's my name for it, the onrushing train. That's just that's what I like to call it.
I don't hate it.
That's
No,
what
I
I've
don't
always
either.
called it because that's how I describe it to people. It's not the cow catcher train; it's the onrushing train.
You don't like it oncoming. You think rushing. It's more than rushing.
Yeah, it's like onrushing.
Feel the breeze.
You can get this and other fine apparel at homefieldapparel.com. You should go there. You should get stuff. Anisha's wearing something. Bullet Dad's got something on underneath his quarters.
I got
Yes,
my
owner's
package.
exclusive. He's wearing on the top there with.
I got my latest order, which includes the Idaho fighting potatoes in it. It's upstairs. I should have brought it downstairs.
Nice work.
But it's what was the other one? I got another one.
One of my favorite things about our professional ad reads are when you talk about a great shirt you got and then don't have it on, or Boiler Dad talks about go to AJ's and then he goes, I
didn't go there.
Haven't been this season.
But it's always a wistful thing. It's always like I really wish I had.
Dude, this season I feel like
You feel like
it's like I'm
like you're
was
cheating on 'em.
it
You're
Rachel
estranged.
who was kept apart in Friends?
Ross
Was
and
it
Rachel.
Rachel and
Ross and Rachel.
Ross and Rachel. Okay. Yeah. So they did, they dragged that on way too long.
Right.
But that's what's happening with me and AJ. It's just creating tension. It's going to be just
But when you guys
momentous.
get together,
Oh my gosh.
the payoff.
Oh man. Okay, hold on.
Delicious.
I forgot the other shirt that I got, and I may have to go get it. So I may be.
Is that good?
Yeah,
It's the Kibby
back.
Dome.
I may be back. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Wow.
He's leaving during mid-show. Earlier, it was just digitally. Now he literally leaves. This is different. You shut him down.
So we're 20 minutes in. Visit your friends at AJ's, by the way, at AJ. Head towards the fire station, turn left. 7.5 minute walk from Victory.
7.5 minute walk from Victory.
They told us, they responded and said, people came in and during that delay on Saturday. And I said,
dude, it's funny because Adam and I had traded texts, and he said, man, we didn't have a very good week last week. It wasn't up. I said, I bet it'll be better. And he said, yeah, it's usually, sorry. Yeah. And so, boy, it was hilarious. I was getting texts from people. They're like, dude, we listened to your advice, and they're just sending pictures of magnets, friends of mine.
That's awesome.
I'm like, dude, that's great. So I love hearing it, even if I can't go, because I'm not gonna throw my wife under the bus again.
Oh,
this is a fresh one.
This is how literally fresh it is. I haven't even opened it yet.
This is an unboxing.
This is an unboxing of the thing. Oh, gave you a little sneak.
It's not Kibby Dome because it's the wrong colors.
Gave you a little preview there.
Yeah.
So here is.
You step out of the shower.
Oh, it's the night. Oh, it's heavyweight too. So
how did you get that size?
Damn it! I couldn't get it. What size did you get? Small?
XL.
Don't worry about it, brother.
No, tell me what size you got, because
I got a large, baby.
Okay,
that's it.
The
because it's
were
the
sold out,
heavyweight.
like the day the heavyweight XL.
They were all gone.
I would usually get an XL, but these heavyweights or the large
fat belly.
Yeah. And so here's the second one.
So angry at self right now.
I mean,
genetics.
Can
that is awesome.
It's just, what do we like? Come on, this is
off-field
apparel.
Who has the beaver fever?
This is amazing.
Anish has got beaver fever. That's who.
I love Oregon State is another one of those where I just have a soft spot in my heart. I don't know why.
Civil War this weekend, baby.
Oregon. And I'll be just in time. I'll be wearing my Beaver Fever shirt.
Work.
I'm in on any mascot that is playing basketball. Home field also has a slam dunking whatever blob from Western Kentucky.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a really good one.
Yeah. I got that one. The Hilltopper. Thank you.
Hilltopper.
Obviously.
Home field. Name? I gotta find that out.
Toppy.
Toppy Hilltopper. You're just making it up. I like it.
Slam Dunkley. Any excuse to bring up that name. No, that reminds me, since we only talk about other teams, Oregon State this weekend. I want to say again, for the record, I know everyone in college football listens to us. I love the fact that even though the Pac-12 disintegrated, that Oregon State agreed to continue doing this. They just played earlier in this season. And that Washington State, the Apple Cup is this weekend too. So I love rivalry weekend, and I love that now we get a little bit more of it, because you get this early season one where those are two where they legit hate each other, and I love it. I love every bit of it.
Yeah, that is a real silver lining to a crappy thing of realignment perpetually. So
and then the fun, this nuance, right? That Oregon State and Washington State are playing twice this year. Did you know that?
Because they don't have enough games.
They don't have enough games, so they're doing a home and home. They're playing like a month apart. I kind of love it. It's like an NFC East battle. It's like, we're going to play the Cowboys twice because we do this. Why not? That's the big.
But imagine if Big Ten season started with IU and Big Ten season ended with IU. I'm not really against this, actually.
No.
You imagine the hatred by the last game.
Oh yeah,
the chance to punch him in the mouth back.
Exactly. How often would teams win two? Yeah. How often would the same team win at the beginning and the end? That's a great idea. This is a trademark. This is our idea.
Rivalry games twice a year. Why not? Yeah. Why not?
Nothing else.
Jarvis is right. The Hilltopper is named Big Red, by the way.
Jarvis Big Red. Sure. Thank you, Jarvis.
Big Red. I think they could have done better than that.
They could have.
It's not that great.
Blobby the red.
Well, shall we talk about the Purdue Boilermakers?
Sure.
Thaddeus suggests we do a shirtless episode.
No, it's against our contract. It's against our contract. We have a clothing sponsor. We can't. It's against
Exactly,
our
that's
contract.
true.
It's
I can
in
wear
the
the
fine
hat.
print.
You didn't say we couldn't have hats on.
True. You know what? True. Also in the mail is the Purdue sweatpants that you said were very good.
They're
So I'm
so
excited.
good. If
I'm
I
excited.
could, yeah, I'm telling you, those Purdue, and they have this logo too. Those sweatpants are so freaking comfortable. Now it's got to be kind of cool out when you're chunky like me, but
Because they're hardy.
they're warm. They're
They're like you, just like a hug from you. It's
warm and envelops
warm
you.
and
So to just
exactly.
yeah, exactly. You know what? It's
Those
hilarious.
sound good.
In the comments, we have a bunch of like real questions. I think they're getting tired of this. So,
Okay. All right.
Purdue. Well, we're just giving you a feel because this is what it was like Saturday. It was supposed to start at 3:30.
It's
Started
the,
at 6:45. Synergy.
Oh, did you see this expert? Well, did you see how the expert doing that? That was
I did.
great.
I
That was
did. That's
awesome.
he's been practicing at
That
meetings.
was great. That was great.
I can spin exactly. Spin.
That's so good.
So stupid.
It is.
Okay, so I titled this show. You may have noticed Purdue banks their first moral victory of the season, and we're not usually fans of moral victories here.
No, we're not.
But and one of my favorite bits that never gets old to me is when I start saying, "Well, if this hadn't happened, and if this hadn't happened," and you go, "And if I had full head of hair and I was a foot and a half taller, I'd be in the NBA."
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know what the hair has to do with it. I just like to.
I'd be a model and an NBA player.
Exactly. You have your choice. So, okay, but when we left Ross Aid a week and a half ago, Anish will vouch for this. Walking to the car when we ditched you, I said they're going to give up 50 next week, and I was pretty confident in that. And they didn't do that. They lost by 16, 33-17. They lost by 16. They covered. Not that matters, but they're less than the spread thought. And you did that despite 2 picks in the red zone, 2 picks into the end zone, I think. And a
major pick six.
That absurd pick six. It could only happen to Purdue. And like, if that, again, if one of those doesn't happen, one of those goes the other way.
How about this
it's
one?
a much different game.
So I put down a bunch of things that bothered me in this game. That I just put 4 different. What if they would have stopped them on 4th down twice? They were 4 for 4 on 4th down. I didn't mention that in my post game. I don't know why, but that was a bad one. The long pick 6. 5 sacks versus 1 sack.
Yep.
Right. And then 3 interceptions, and one of them was a pick 6. But so you have red zone 2 red zone pick 6 and a bizarre fluttering off of carom.
Crazy. That was
I was one of those things. I quit watching.
Yeah.
I was like, plays over, and then I'm watching Big Boy steam down the field.
I love the number 0 just like stretched across them.
I did too. I don't know if you noticed on my title, I lined it up on purpose, the 0 and the O.
You're an artist. I don't care what anybody says.
True artiste. If you could get rid of one of those things, does Purdue win? So if their categories are
no,
I'm
not. No. If you get rid of one of them, they don't win. But I guess what I'm saying is that's improvement. That there's going to be
something you can look at, right?
Here's a couple things that I will also draw out that aren't about. If only this didn't happen. How about this? Purdue was down 30-10, I believe, after 3 quarters, and I saw the players on the sidelines. I might have said this in the chat to you guys. Hopping around, like ready to start the 4th, like bouncing around. Purdue got the ball after the pick 6 and went. They didn't. They might have gone down and scored then. I can't remember now, but they just went back to work. There was a feeling of like, okay, back to running.
They were in the red zone. That was the long
down the left side to Tuggle. Wasn't
it? It wasn't Tuggle, but it was somebody else. It was a receiver that I didn't know.
That's to me
that cool.
That you're resilient and that you listen to your coaches and the coaches are clearly saying, okay, doesn't matter. Next play, move on. Like.
Can I ask you guys a question about something? Because I haven't seen it yet. The Big Ten officiating crew, in all their wisdom, took a play away from Purdue that was pretty momentous. Was that legit that they deserved to take it away? Play? The one that they said didn't get off before the 2-minute warning or whatever stupid thing they call it.
The 2-minute timeout.
2-minute time. It's dumb. Okay. So, it's definitely not a 2-minute warning. Do not say it's a 2-minute warning because it's not.
Don't print the newspaper. I was mad.
Exactly. So dumb.
Because I was not. I found it funny.
Exactly. So it was because I had a problem with it because they got the snap off and there was like no reaction. Then they come back and they're like, "Nope, you're back there."
That didn't count.
I'm like, I was pissed, man.
You?
Yeah, it's weird. Believe it. Was it legit though? That's my question. I haven't heard anybody yet tell me, yeah, that was totally the right call.
I couldn't see it. Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I think they were just I think
before legit, or was that not legit? I don't know.
Was which one?
Was the week before when Brown was called out of bounds on a touchdown that he clearly scored at legit?
Oh no. That's what I say. Yeah, this is
so I think
I
would
vintage.
They probably got it wrong. That's where I would go.
So may I? So first, I'd like to preface this, and I also I credit J Money because on before the podcast, I was like, I was ranty, and J Money talked to me. He talked me down, and he was right. He was right.
Wow.
So
man,
I'm
gonna clip that.
But let me present the other side. I think this was about the most vanilla outside of the fourth down plays. Those fourth down plays were very cool. That was about the most vanilla play call that Lincoln Riley could have called. It reminded me of when Ryan Day in Ohio State came with Marvin Harrison Jr. a couple of years ago, when it was just like they are just calling
or Oregon
nothing.
last year.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, exactly. That being said, again, so okay, the second point though is that we keep saying what ifs to our misfortunes. One of our touchdowns absolutely should have been a fumble 6. Like the reverse, the second reverse pass thing, where if it would have gone 2 feet behind him, the lineman gets it, and he has another.
He looks completely. You watch. He kind of throws a fit because he doesn't even understand what happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's an insane play. Yeah,
which is great. But I thought it was such a big play by Brown because I'm like,
it's great.
Number one, he didn't stop, but if he doesn't do what he did,
it's a live ball.
Gone.
Yep,
gone. He's got just Brown in the way. It's over.
So to me, it's like that's a fortunate thing that Purdue got. And my thing is like,
but they made it happen though.
So I guess but in the same way that the big linemen did. So if you want to say that those, those offset, but to me, those are like incidental things. Those are like random things. Those are like 2 crazy plays that are like clipped at the end of a season that happened. That's like legitimately crazy things.
It's crazy, but to me, those are both effort plays. Like I like that. Like I'm
sure.
I don't disparage either one. I think they're both weird,
of course not.
Right?
It's
like
weird. Exactly.
It's real not football, though. So.
But it tells you the effort both of these teams are trying. Both of these teams are serious. They're Big Ten teams. The thing, though, is that Purdue's mistakes were not unintentional. They were not by accident. Those 2 red zone turnovers are not something that can just be flipped. You can tell me one of those plays flipped. If one of those plays flips, the accidental touchdown, let's say, or the lineman touchdown, then Purdue is, like if Purdue hops on that, then we get another 7 points. That's fine. Those red zone picks were the play call, the decision making, and the lack of execution, and USC just showing up. That is just like, it is really hard for me to say that, oh, if only. Like those red zone turnovers are tough. And I don't think that they'll continue. I actually think that Ryan Brown, there were a couple things that people were saying. I think Malachi will start by the end of the season. I couldn't disagree with that more.
Yeah, I think Brown is better than I thought he was.
And I don't mind shots like that. Right, I don't mind it. Like mistakes like that.
Did it not feel like that was just a Drew Brees impersonation? All those mistakes were like Drew Brees. Like, okay, trying to make something happen where you really can't try.
It was nice to honor Drew with him there. That was cool.
Exactly. Number 15 throwing ill-advised passes into the end zone.
But so to me, that made it seem that plus USC's play call, which was like they never felt like they were sweating at all. And I think if it were close at all in the third or fourth quarters, like it would have been, because every time, how many times did their wide receivers just absolutely wreck this defensive backfield that I thought was very good. And
well, the funny thing is, even on those plays, like I look at it, like, and I think we talked about this in the post game. The guys were in position to make the play, so the coverage was good. So there's a couple things that bothered me about those. Coverage was good. Malewa, or I can't remember his name. It kind of he just threw it up and said he's gonna go get it. And guess what? Purdue's defensive backs were right there, and then they went up and got it.
They're unbelievable receivers.
Yeah, they are great. They're very, very good, and they made the guys that I thought would be better in those situations. And it was poor timing every time. Like guys just. They always talk about high pointing the ball. USC was like, okay, yeah, we work on this. And Purdue DBs were like, never seen this before.
What is this? No,
what's happening right now?
But to the point that you made on the post game, but that was that this isn't the game that makes you question the defensive backs, because those are just those are incredible receivers. Last week did
how many? So Greg reminds us of that tight end who was awesome. But so you've got what two receivers that had big days. Then I think you had two more that had solid days. How many of those 5 guys that were receivers are going to be playing in the NFL? I'd probably say 2 or 3.
If it's over 2.5, yeah,
right. I mean, so you can't. I'm not bothered by that. I will disagree with you on something though. I think that Lincoln Riley was calling a perfect game.
Oh, yeah,
it was totally. He was just every time they needed to do something, he called the right thing, and they had this. Something I've never seen. I think it's an offensive guru type of thing. The way they run their option read, where it almost slows down the running back and the quarterback both go into this slow motion thing, and it causes everybody to kind of flex. Holy moly! I was like, man, it is killing Purdue's linebackers.
Yep. Well, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to break on.
Yep.
Right.
And on the other side, we saw a couple really bad reads. There was one that Brown, he handed the ball off. And he almost killed Maccabee. Yeah. I was like, dude, keep that one. The end was there. He was there. But
and I do have to say, against USC's size and athleticism, the line opened up some really good holes for Maccabee. That was nice. And I want to clarify, like the vanilla play calling is not. That does not mean a bad game or a boring game. I really do think that he called the exact game that he knew that, would beat Purdue. And I don't think that he was ever, I don't think Purdue ever put him in a position where he had to change anything that he had to be uncomfortable.
And that's so that kind of goes along with something that I talked about at the post game too, is this team going toe to toe with a more talented team. Just going straight up football kind of reminds me of old discussions that I had about Jim Coletto, or we had about even Hazel, right? Where you'd say the belief that you're just going to go toe to toe and play solid football and beat teams like this, it will never happen. Not with the roster as it stands right now. And I'd go even further. In 2 years, 3 years, where Odom has the guys in, you're still not going to have that many guys. Right.
So this was this is the existential crisis that I had last week. And, where I was like, the variance is the thing that I worry about. That's the thing that I am going to be watching for this year, where it's like where the creativity on either side of the ball. The no turnovers is a thing. I mean, like, there are no turnovers and 1 sack. Like, you can't win like that.
Is that because they're playing conservative football? I think it is.
I think so.
Because you're not really, you're trying to make sure you make the solid tackle, right? So you're not just flying around and doing things that are going to blow up a play. You're not hawking the ball. Like I said, there were 2 plays towards the end of the game where defensive backs were breaking on it. It's good to see. But I think the only reason they did it probably is because, it's now or never. Because they were told, don't let anybody behind you.
Especially those guys.
Yeah, because they're gone. Right.
But
so I get all that.
No turnovers in the first 2 games. You know what I mean? Like, that's tough.
It is tough. I think that's a legit concern. I think you're not causing teams. The funny thing is, it's not for lack of trying. If you guys didn't pick this up, Purdue has some defensive linemen. I'm trying to remember who they were. I think they were tackles that they are punching at the ball. They did it. They've done it all 3 games, but versus Southern Illinois specifically, I don't know, he was coming in with a club and uppercuts and punching down, and I was like, man, this dude's a beast holding on to the ball. So, but they're still not coming up with anything.
Without no tempo, no turnovers, no pressure on the pass. Like, that is what creates variance in a football game.
Right.
Those are the ways that Purdue typically wins, because
Yep.
we are not going to be, this is the Hazel error, right? Which is like, we're not going to line up with better horses against these teams, right? Now I think I'm not terribly worried. Odom, this is what Odom has right now. But it is a thing where it's like, I kind of want to see, this is against Notre Dame. I think is going to be just a demolition. It is what it is.
I think Purdue lose by 2 touchdowns again.
Okay.
And I think it could be one of those where they do it and they just kind of keep Purdue at an arm's length. A different version of this game we saw this week.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of just the one thing that Notre Dame doesn't have right now, it doesn't seem like they have the ability to, they haven't really muscled either Miami or Texas A&M, tried to like throw them around, right? And I think that's kind of a calling card of Freeman teams. It's what Notre Dame's been really good at the last couple of years, just beating up on teams in the trenches. So I don't know if the answer is they just don't have the experience in the fronts. I don't know.
I think Miami and A&M probably were big enough to not be thrown around, and I don't know if Purdue is. So you might see that start to happen this week.
Two great running backs, not one, 2 great running backs for Notre Dame.
Oh my gosh, they're monsters. It makes me afraid of like the Monty Ball Wisconsin type numbers against Purdue.
So I don't feel like that type of thing will happen to Odom. I feel like that when Purdue got just shredded by running backs, it was all the finesse coaches that didn't really do a good job against that. The teams weren't prepared for that. And I can go way back on that idea, but that's kind of,
absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm worried about that.
That's as many coaches as we've had, basically. I don't know how many non-finesse coaches we've had, or speed, I suppose. I suppose Hazel is one of them.
Yeah, but the best attempt at it was Hazel.
Yeah. But
nice.
But I think it's still early yet. I think I agree when the team gets his identity, but I think it's still pretty early.
Okay, but here's what I'll say about, again, I think that this team so far, the thing that jumped out to me was, I now believe, because when you look at the beginning of the season, you're like, okay, even if they're better coached and they're better prepared, everybody was like, well, they're going to win their first 2 and then they might not win again. I think I've seen enough to think they're going to get better. They're going to be well coached this year.
Yeah.
Little things start to get improved,
sure.
Right? So that's the kind of team that, they're not going to win a lot of games, but they might rise up and beat somebody they shouldn't. Not just the team or 2 that you think, oh, they should still beat Northwestern. They should still maybe beat Rutgers, right? I think if they start just tightening up some of this stuff, and you get a break or 2, a fumble.
How about you, instead just tightening up? You have somebody that, and I think there's an ability for this team that we haven't scratched yet. I think there's an ability for a 2-man game, meaning a receiver and Brown to have a kind of a magical game, 150-yard type thing with a couple touchdowns. We haven't really seen that yet. I mean, everything's been spread out, but I think it could happen. And I think that's how you beat one of those teams.
Actually,
get the ball too, man. The Purdue's receivers, they go get it.
Right.
I was about to say, like, the receivers have surprised me in a positive way this year, where it was like, I was so agreed. Down.
Yeah. That's the worst core, the most question mark core, and they look good.
Since you guys are talking about Notre Dame, I want to get to a question JP Boiler asked. He's probably dying to give us the answer. And he hasn't yet, I don't think. So I'm going to throw this one up here. Last time Notre Dame started 0-2, and I guess what he's saying is those were losses to Ohio State and Marshall. Can you guess the year?
Clausen, was that the Clausen year?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like that's got to be a Weiss team, but
yeah, I do too.
Right? Doesn't it? Would they started with Ohio State?
Because the Clausen year was Painter still. No, I'm mixing them.
Clausen was there for multiple years.
Yeah.
He started from what?
Well, Painter was there when they were bad under Weiss, and
I think that year. So that 07.
06 maybe.
Yeah, 07 was that year. Like 07 was the year, because I remember Painter taunting them, and that is the last Notre Dame win I think we've had. And then there's the timeout game, which is the next closest that we've been. Yeah. But I would say 07, but I'm probably wrong on that. We got to get an answer to this. We don't know the answer.
We don't know.
Did you guys see
There's no way to know.
the percentage, like according to ESPN, when they do that analytic stuff, but the percentage, the chance that Notre Dame makes the playoff now? Have you seen the drop?
Oh, how low is it? Is it
So I'm gonna
6%?
I'll give you a guess. So what was it before the season started? What is it now?
90 probably, or whatever, not 90, maybe 75,
Okay,
80.
You're high.
Too high. Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty
56. 56, I think was the number. And then now it's like 4%.
Chance?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason is my brother's been talking to me. I think we were on that one of these threads, Jay.
Let me pull
but their schedule, they don't have opportunity to make up ground for the rest of the season. They've got a soft schedule. Like I think they've got
ranked at 0-2. So I'm not
still ranked though. You've got to look. Other teams are going to make hay because they're playing other teams, right?
Well, here's. I'm not going to read the whole schedule to you. They have one game on their schedule right now against a ranked team, and that's USC, who's 25th. So I guess there is some merit to that. But they're going to win out probably. They're going to win out.
They should.
They got. So I will read it. Purdue, Arkansas, Boise, NC State, USC, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. That is a horseshit schedule.
Yeah, it's all mid, man.
I mean, that was set up for them too. If you think about it, you win your first two, or even one of the first two, and you're gonna have no problem. You're 11-1 or 12-0.
Yeah.
So anyway, JP Boiler says it was 2022, which we'll have to check the records on that. I
Oh.
can't believe that.
I was just looking at 2007. It's astounding. Notre Dame in 2007, they opened 1-10.
Yeah, they were bad.
Oof. And then they ended the season with wins against Duke and Stanford, but 1-10 Notre Dame was in 2007.
Well, that was the end of Weiss, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, he coached 2 more years.
Oh, that was the year where that was the year when he was like, everybody better get their shots in now. Okay, we will.
Boy, that's weird to think of. I can't believe they gave him another.
Well, that's like last year's Florida State. Norval's still there,
right? They're kind of because it was his second, third year there. Is that right?
I think it was early. It was maybe second. It was early. But yeah, and by the way, I looked it up. JP is correct. 2022, they started 0-2. They also lost to Stanford and USC that year, so they had 4 losses. They went to a bowl game and won, so they went up 9-4.
Right, and I think that's the type of thing they'll get. They'll get a bowl game. They're not going to get a
dude, I'll tell you right now, there's a hell of a lot better than 4% chance they go to the playoff. It's expanded, number one, and they're going to be 10-2, and they're Notre Dame.
Well, so you've got the same thing going that I was when I was arguing this earlier today. That I said the human factor of deciding who goes to the playoff is big, right? For Notre Dame, it's going to be a factor. It's going to be a big deal. Especially the logical factor, man. You could see that. Could you see them losing to Arkansas and USC? I could.
Arkansas and USC,
right? Isn't that what you said? That's what.
Yeah, Arkansas. You think they're going to lose to the Pitt, man?
Just saying, you're going to have dudes on that team. They may not be that good, but you're going to have players.
It's down there in Arkansas too. So
right.
Maybe. I don't know. But this weekend, so you think it's a 2-touchdown loss? Boil it down. You think so you think they're going to lose 66-7 again? Is what you're saying?
That's what one of, I can't remember which I know it was with Ben Kolazinski. He said just for old times lose by 65 points again. I said, well, no, it'll be 66. No, I don't, and he didn't either. And I just don't think it's that type of. I don't think it's that type of game.
No, I agree. And hey, let's not get greedy here. Let's remember what we said at the start of the season was, hey, the baseline is don't embarrass yourselves. That's where we're going to start. Don't be.
You have to. This is the thing. People don't get this. You've got to do little things before you can do big things. There are very few times where you just jump in and you're great. Especially these guys are still learning how to play together. I don't think we can discount that. So, and everybody sees what I see. They're just.
Do you?
I don't know. I don't know how. Let's pretend for a second. Okay, here. Let me ask you guys. If you guys could inject like big time either talent or size or whatever, right? Someplace on the field. I give you 2 positions or two people. Where do you put them? That'd be so much of a difference maker. You're like, okay, that flips to 1 or 2 more wins. You understand?
No, ask that again.
Okay. If I gave you
defensive
the
end.
magical ability, yeah. Okay.
Oh, what would we change?
Yeah. What is there? Is there two places you could say, okay, yeah, if we have those two guys, that like Anish says, okay, a beastly defensive end, you get Aiken Adele in his prime, okay,
Berrigan.
and you get hold on, let's see, and you get David Bell as a wide receiver.
Oh, I feel like okay. I'll answer it by saying
Because those are two that you need, right? Right.
I feel like if you have that and you couple it with Notre Dame, maybe feeling a little pressure being 0-2. Notre Dame can't lose this game. They can't even. They have to make a statement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
that's the thing I dislike about this game more than anything is that they have to they have to lay the wood, right?
Goodness, do they ever? And I guess that's what I was going to ask you guys. Is there any element do you think? And I'll just give away my thought. I don't think Freeman is the kind of coach that. I don't think they're going to lose focus or be nervous or be like, oh no, we're 0-2.
No,
this team is going to be prepared, and that's concerning.
Yeah, that's.
But there's always a chance, man.
Right.
Well, if you win, so to answer your question, you were saying what players would you need to have, and I guess short of a.
Do you agree a defensive end and a wide receiver?
Yeah, well, but what if one of those receivers has the game Anish was just talking about? What if one of Purdue's existing receivers has a career day, right? And Purdue wins a turnover battle. Give me those two things. They're actually possible. They're not impossible things. You're not getting Aiken Adele to come back. But if those two things were to happen, and Anish were to get a webcam that focused on him,
right,
then everything will be right in the world.
That'd be great. Yeah. So he didn't look like we were shooting it with a
he's on
tin can.
It's
like he's in some sort of witness protection. We can't really see him because
it's going to be all. It is. Wow. It is.
It's bad.
It's like that.
Yeah.
I got rid of my dome.
You sound good on this end. I don't know what you sound like to the peoples, but you sound good on this.
Ted Berkey is still in the dumpster right now. He says 66-14, Purdue gets 2 touchdowns. I don't know if you're joking, but no, that's not going to happen. I will say is not.
I don't think he's joking, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Greg says we scored 7 last year. I don't even recall that. I was probably walking to the car already. No, you weren't, Greg, because we saw you there. We were there. You were there. People were vomiting in the concourse.
Exactly.
133.
Vomiting and passing out.
Good gosh, that was the worst. I remember it being like, I came all the way out here for this. What's going on?
Yeah,
man, you guys didn't even.
Didn't even help. Didn't even try. Didn't even act like they cared you were there, Jay.
No, exactly.
What the hell?
Right. One thing we didn't really. Well, we alluded to it. One thing that a couple of things that pissed me off about the delay, besides just that it was inconvenient for you, and that's always that's my primary concern, is the fact that number one, it killed any sort of vibe or environment.
You talked about this, and I was gonna revisit this. You are correct, by the
way. And for the Rose Bowl team being back there, just you can be mad at the weather, but
they deserve better.
They deserve better. Yeah. And it was so cool, man, seeing all the guys that were back.
Here I had a weird thing that I thought of. My wife and I are there, and we're watching these guys get announced, and you did see Adele talk, and that was cool. And Breeze clearly said, "I'm not going to do it today," so he took the back seat. I guarantee you they asked him, but he just walked down the field, didn't grab the mic. Unusual for him. And my wife said he is constantly pimping a product.
I was going to say he had nothing to pitch. That's why.
No, exactly. He needed something to pimp. We had this. Both of us had a weird moment. We used to get season tickets together before my son was born, who's now a sophomore at Purdue. And we've had a couple of these moments where we're like, man, this is weird. We're here with our nephew and our son who goes to Purdue. And this one was weird because I looked up and I'm like, these guys were all kids. When we had season tickets, when my wife and I had season tickets together, these guys are all kids. And now these guys are old men. The people on the field are old men. Yeah. And I'm thinking my son is watching these old men being like, man, what was that like? Right. It's time is crazy. Like it's, I know a lot's happened. I remember the seasons between that. It's not like I've been in a coma, but just, it's wild to me. Getting old, I guess, the whole thing.
Well, and if you want to feel real old, just watch the highlights. Just watch the
footage looks like it's 1,000 years old. That's the other thing. You're like, man, can they not get a better version? No, they can't. This is it. Because the resolution of it was what, best at 480? Is that what Anish, you're the only scientist in the group. Is that I don't know what it would be. What would the best analog?
I think my resolution is like 280p.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and
no, your resolution is 28.
You know what I liked? You know what I liked? That was a fun little bow to put on it was Danielson being there calling the game, and he was calling the Holy Toledo
Yeah, that was cool.
touchdown as well. Like that was very cool. They honored him. He's retiring. I never get tired of hearing Gary Danielson call a Purdue game. I think
It's funny how short Drew Brees looks next to Mark Herman.
next to every other quarterback. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Which is also amazing. The dude like defies everything. When you think about it, like he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like statistically, he's phenomenal. And you were talking earlier about Brown kind of doing his Breeze impression, and you're exactly right. Breeze would have done exactly, except he would have thrown for 460 and thrown.
Right.
My favorite, I've brought this up before. My favorite is the end of that Ohio State game where when he's celebrating, they show his line. And I believe it was 455 yards. Anish, why is that in there? I don't know. And it says 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. 4 picks! And you won against a really good Ohio State team.
Well, the funny thing about those 4 picks is one of them, right? You take away one of them and maybe you don't need to be a hero, right?
Of course. But that was always his way.
Exactly.
My gosh.
It'd be fun to have a team that just like wins games, wouldn't it?
Just bludgeons teams.
Yeah. That'd be really
even the
cool.
best Purdue teams of our lifetime still made us sweat.
Right.
And
that's why we're the way we are. This is the thing. Like Derek Schultz made fun of us, when he's on here one time when he said, you Purdue fans are never comfortable. I'm like, we're not comfortable because we've got reason to not be comfortable.
What you and I used to say years ago on this podcast and on our site, our tagline was, "This is why we have a complex."
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, because even those years when the miracles would happen, then they'd mix in a stinker against Northwestern.
Right.
Or Michigan State. You'd beat Michigan and Ohio State, and then you lose to Michigan State.
So, Jay, you didn't do this, but I'm going to answer a question you didn't ask.
Yes,
so,
please.
why did the atmosphere change so much, and why so my son had it summed up in the student section at least. He said all the girls left. He said there were no women in the student section; they were all gone. He's got about 7 or 8 women or girls. I don't know what you want to call them. They're sophomores at Purdue. And every one of them except for one left
during the game. Or
they just didn't come back. The rain, so he left too. They let you leave, and they said you're going to be able to get back in. He went over smartly, hung out in his dorm room, watched some football. His family, the people that he loves. He didn't say, "Come on over to my dorm room." No, we stayed in the concourse of Ross-Ade, and either we're sweating our asses off, and with no air movement at all.
No, that's always good.
Oh, great.
That wet, stale air where it's like muggy and it's the best.
And then Ross-Ade, they shut down the concessions, which was cool of them. And then damn it, just take the money. It's just easy money. My gosh, everybody wanted to buy a elephant ear.
During that delay, you couldn't buy anything?
Couldn't buy anything for 2.5 of the 3.5 hours. Yeah, couldn't buy anything.
What is with Purdue? And
no idea. It's such a Purdue thing to do. I don't know why they did it. And I'm sure they've got a very good reason. I say that's very sarcastic. And so the place right by us, they have the little beer stands with Kurz and something else.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling it. And then we saw Karen of the security crew come out, "Do not sell any more beer." I was like, that's the only thing that's keeping some of these people going. Just let them have their beer. Goodness. Give me a break. They're adults. Ridiculous. So that's what my neighbor, he's an IU ticket holder. He said, "Well, at least you guys got to drink some beer in the concourse." I'm not a beer drinker. So I said, no, they didn't, because they shut us down. So that wasn't great.
Yeah. So Travis is here to rub it in. I went to my office in Cary and pulled up 4 YouTube TV tabs. Whatever, Travis. Yeah. Thanks for the invite.
For nothing. Yeah. I didn't get the text. "Hey, come on over, B-Dowd." Yeah. So
you guys all talk a good game, but then when it comes right down to it, you don't really want Bowler down in your house.
Exactly. I get it. I wouldn't want me in there. It make me sick.
Anish is back. Welcome back, Anish, to the show. He'll have audio soon enough.
That's great. So
I'm not back. I don't want to speak because there's like a 5-second lag on my end. I'm talking completely over you guys. I'm completely aware of this.
No, it's okay.
It's janky still. So
that's okay. Do you want to go to a few comments I've tagged?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Chris Harder asks, I love it. You guys haven't always come through when I've asked for these, but now you have.
Now they're magic.
Chris says, would you rather 11 Maccabees on the field or 5 Braden Smiths on the court? That's a good question.
That's a hard one. That's harder. The more I think about it, the less I like the question. They're both really have a lot of problems. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking of the positives right away. You're going to spread teams out in both cases. They're going to be quick, but there's going to be some big issues.
So what's your pick? I think Braden Smith's keeps.
I think Braden Smith. You're not going to win with 11 Maccabees. Sorry.
A lot of heart.
Sorry,
a lot of heart.
A lot of heart, and he's fast. I'm not saying any of that.
Everybody's completing their blocks. Everybody's
football. You need big dudes in football.
Completing their assignments.
Right.
Brandon Alexander says, "Is it really a handsome hour without technical difficulties?" Brandon knows the way we roll.
The funny thing is, he was doing that when it was just minor on Anisha's, and it wasn't.
I feel like this is the perfect time for that.
Now it looked like he is broadcasting from a war zone, and they don't have any.
We're gonna go to Anish. He's behind enemy lines right now. The earpiece. We're gonna go back to Anish when his connection gets better. We have a question here from. Not a question. Brandon Alexander says, I asked for an extra magnet when I went to AJ's, and they just handed me a handful. And now I have 5 magnets spread across my fridge.
That's awesome. Thanks to Adam, Jake, and company. And I wonder if Brandon had, every time I go there, I have a good waiter or waitress too. So
they're all so good. They're so nice. You always say it all the time, and it's not a bit. They're nice staff. They take care of you. Yeah. Great place. You're going to get your belly full. You're going to watch games that are on.
My favorite thing is when Adam does that, he doesn't do it all the time, but it'll be just apron night where he doesn't have a shirt on. That's pretty fun too.
And he says, beer's on me. And
everybody. Yeah, so he comes out, he's just flexing on him. He's all tan and everything. Did I go too far for that with that joke?
No.
Okay.
Not far enough.
Just the right. Okay, good. All right.
Travis also asks, do we know if Notre Dame is letting the band bring the drum through the home tunnel this year?
I'm still pissed about that. I'll be honest.
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah. And think about what else they did. They kicked the train off. They kicked the special off campus that morning.
Right.
Now we don't even have a special.
Right. But I think it was because
Notre Dame.
It was because it doesn't fit through the visitor tunnel, so they wouldn't let them through the
That's
home tunnel.
bullcrap. Such lies.
There's no way they changed the tunnels. So my guess is that.
But yeah, if it wasn't big enough then, that's a good point.
Years ago, 2-3 years ago.
They couldn't let it through now. They couldn't, right? Because that would be admitting that they were BSing.
It can fit through the home tunnel, and they wouldn't let it come through the home tunnel.
Right.
That was the thing. So it was a decision. They could let it come in if they wanted to. They could.
They didn't want to. I know. There's lots of ways to get
a little thumb in the eye. It's a little. It's a little. And hey, you want to make it a little spicy? That's fine.
Right.
Don't tell me.
You want to give me a reason to hate you guys? Okay.
Don't tell me they don't care about Purdue. Don't tell me that, because they do. They care a little bit. They want to keep Purdue.
Exactly. That stuff they don't. You wouldn't do that to nobody. That's
right.
A good point. Right. And on the other hand, here's the thing. My brother brought this up, which was actually nice. I barely heard him, but why was USC's band allowed to come to the game last week? I don't know. You just say no. We can't. Sorry, we're not going to allow USC's band to come.
We did. What do you mean?
Yeah, they had some sort of pep band there. It wasn't a full band.
Wait a minute. Since when does Purdue not let other bands come?
No, I think they shouldn't. That's my point. I see. This is where I'm like, I don't want to give other teams a foothold where they can do their damn chants and all that stuff. If you guys want to do that, you can do it at home. You're not welcome here for that much. You can come and sit here. That's great. But this is our house.
Here's the other rule. No quarterbacks are allowed either from the other team.
Yeah, no quarterbacks. Exactly. No, that's not the same damn thing. Give me a break, jerk old man.
No coaches. No luxury items. You can't. They had to wait that out in the visitors' locker room, which I love that they kept showing that. And they're just kind of doing that thing where you're like, you want to walk around.
Well, they didn't have anything to talk about either. Right?
Oh man, CBS was struggling. They kept going back to the studio, and they're like, well, and they'd talk for a little while, and then they'd show highlights and there were no other really good games to pivot to because they were in the CBS sphere. So they kept showing like Southern Miss and somebody, and it was like, oof, man, they are. In that studio when you're not going to have to talk till halftime. It's kind of like, all right, let's get a drink. Let's get something to eat. Right. But now they're like, oh, we're coming back to you guys. It's like, well.
Alexander Robinson says, put a big mask on the drum. They'll never know it's the drum.
A mustache. And
yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. It's so dumb. I love it. So dumb.
Anish is joining us from Pittsburgh, PA.
With a halfway viewable image. That's good.
Let's see.
Hey! There's not no delay there. That's good.
That's wild.
Yeah. So Alexander suggests we put a mask, like a glasses and mustache disguise on the drum to get it in.
Get it into Notre Dame Stadium. That's good. That was dumb enough. I love
College
it. So
students
dumb.
are just that dumb and funny, and I could
Yeah.
totally see them doing
Exactly. Yeah,
That's a great idea.
it
Legitimately.
is. Yeah.
I have a coworker who's a Notre Dame guy, and he likes to. I think I might have said this to you guys. He likes to be like, "Oh, blow that train whistle. Have a good time with the train whistle." And I'm like, I like that it bothers all of you. That's the whole point. If it's annoying, then it's great. And I was like, it's not nearly as cool as, say, a leprechaun. Wow. Yeah. Gonna make
As a
fun of
former
train
leprechaun
whistle?
at my high school, I can tell you, I was intentionally annoying. So
Ooh.
you guys might find that hard to believe. Mega fan.
The other thing that I had on my list to talk about, because I actually made a list this time, because it's completely non sequitur, and since we were talking about other teams, I want to ask you this, guy, because I think this is, I think you guys always like a chance to make fun of programs we don't like. Is IU Illinois a ranked matchup for the first time, I believe, since 1950? Is that the most boring ranked matchup, most disinterested, boring ass, who cares ranked matchup that you can think of?
What are they? 17-9 or?
I think Illinois is 10.
Okay, Illinois 10.
Illinois is 9. Yeah.
I mean, but
I thought, yeah.
I mean, who cares?
I don't understand it. I don't understand Illinois being 9. I know Purdue's going to play Illinois. What is it?
In like 2 weeks.
Notre Dame, Illinois, Rutgers, and Northwestern, or Northwestern, then Rutgers are the next 4. Like, no, we're not going to win the Illinois game, but like, man, are they really that good? Like, maybe it's just because it's Illinois and Burt, but like,
It's a good question. I don't think we know the real answer right now.
yeah.
The funny thing is, like, they don't. When I think about them, do you get scared, intimidated?
No, not at all.
No,
because
no.
they can
Never.
flip to being bad. Just like that's one thing that Burt's
Right.
done. He got absolutely
And with that
trumped.
dumbass dopey look on his face, that's going to happen this season, right?
They got absolutely
Confused,
trucked by Ryan
eating a
Walton.
snack, a big snack.
Hungry. Yeah,
Very hungry.
I mean, they have their schedule's not bad either. The only tough games they have Indiana, then they have USC, and they got Ohio State the week after Purdue, and then otherwise they got nobody ranked. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what some of the pundits said. Yeah, it's like laid out for them. So, but that seems like it's also a really, really good way to let everybody down.
There's zero chance that I watch a second of that game.
I know.
Illinois. Great question from Ted Berkey. Who is Illinois' rival? Relevance is really.
I'll tell you this: Illinois fans, I guarantee you, would say something like Ohio State. They'd say something dumb like that because they would never
say all sorts of stupid.
They would never say Northwestern, even though that's
They
their
don't-
end of year rivalry
Right.
game appropriately because it's
Right.
proximity wise. That's who they should want to beat up on.
Yeah.
And they have a trophy game with Purdue,
Mhm.
and I guarantee they don't think either are their rival, and that's fine because who cares?
I mean, I don't think about Illinois at all. I know that some Illinois fans think about IU as their rival, and I know for a fact
You
IU
mean
doesn't
basketball
care.
or everything?
Everything.
IU doesn't care about that.
And it's just like, no, absolutely not. They don't care. Like nobody thinks about Illinois. Mind space is mental capacity is where
Motor City
Illinois.
Boiler says watching Anish talk is like watching a dubbed kung fu movie.
Oh, am I
No,
dubbed
no,
right
no.
now?
I think he's
Maybe
going
I
back
could
to
be
before,
speaking
but-
in tongues.
No, you're good
I
right now.
could be. Yeah.
By the
it
way,
could be
former
before.
future
Okay.
Purdue football coach Chip Kelly is now offensive coordinator for the Raiders.
Sure. We were trying to
Okay.
figure that out a couple weeks
Exactly.
ago. We thought he was still at Ohio State, but
Right.
this guy likes to hop around.
Right.
I mean, I don't even understand that exactly. Is he trying to get back to the NFL? I guess. I mean, the answer must be yes, because why would he have left Ohio
He's
State?
in the NFL. Maybe this is how he guides to the finish line. Remember, he resigned from UCLA. Once again, he had a job, and he just said, "Okay, I'm done." And
rather
that shows
be-
you how bad that of a place that is.
Yeah.
That's going back to the conversation we had earlier. So his face is still massive.
Chip
It could
Kelly.
have been just the camera, but how many cameras had he eaten today is the question. A lot of fat jokes.
A lot of fat
Fat
jokes.
guy. All right. Yeah. Hey Jay, did you have anything from the Twitter that I
You
don't
didn't
know if
ask.
you
You guys have let me down on Twitter so many
too
times.
many times?
I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. We're back to our normal finish.
I know
We were
it.
so tight last week with our finish.
there's still time for me to tighten it up right at the end.
No, I
Just
know.
gotta bring it
Hey,
together.
relax,
But
relax, easy.
settle down. Exactly. I'm just still happy that I got a niche back. He was gone.
I think I am.
Rejoicing that-
I think it's so weird
back.
because I think we can see me on time. I don't think that the viewers could see me
No, I
on
think you're
time.
good.
It's so strange. No, I just checked
They're
on
saying-
YouTube. It's so strange. It's so weird. I will end with this, and then I'm going to go on mute. I think Purdue gets destroyed next week, and I think this is a real statement game from Notre Dame.
Okay,
And
so you're
I
saying
am,
so what you're let's go back some. You clearly say Monday is the last day of the football week.
yeah, Monday is the last day. No, I
You
couldn't
said
be
next week.
stronger.
You're not talking.
You're right. You're right. You caught me in a lie. You caught me in a lie. You caught me. You zap back.
So, by the way, this is a little thing I didn't even realize till I just looked at the schedule. It makes me sad when I know there's going to be a weekend without Purdue football. Purdue has a bye coming up after they play Notre Dame. They have a bye, but then they have one in the middle of November too. You know,
2 buys.
Right?
Yeah.
After they play Washington, interesting game. Some might say.
It's very interesting to some.
If you have a boat and you are in the Puget Sound area,
exactly.
in November,
drop us a DM. Just let us know about the boat.
Let us know. Rowboat. Anish can
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll row.
That will stand on the
big
front like
kayak?
George Washington. He'll stand on the front looking out with the hat and the wig thing on.
Please, this is your next Photoshop. Please, Boiler Dad.
oh, that's the thumbnail for that week.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, well, it's been great talking to you guys. Been great to the many people who are trying to help us solve a lot of problems because we were, I think for me, there's a lot of trepidation as I look ahead. I have concern about Notre Dame. I have concern about other things, but thanks to all of you guys who are live, and thanks to you listening on delay. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Actually, next week, since this is the last day of the football week. I love you guys.